think about it for just a minute. Be critical. Just because somebody is propped up as an expert doesn't mean that the expert advice they're giving you is in your benefit. Is it in your benefit or is it in their benefit? And sometimes it can be both. Sometimes it's truly egalitarian and it's perfectly good. Just ask the better questions. Hey, what's up, everybody? Rob Swanson here. We are diving into another episode of the Real Estate Mogul Show. This is the show where I answer your questions. I take my 25 years of real estate investing experience, investing in cities all across the country, doing just about every kind of deal you can think of. And we dive in and we take your questions and we break them apart step by step. If you've been following this show, you see that I don't just take a question and answer it. I build story around it. I build context around it, and I give you very actionable step-by-step things that you can take and put to work in your real estate investing business. Whether you're brand new and just getting started or a seasoned pro going to the next level, whether you're training a team or just learning solo, the information shared here can help you go to the next level. So let's dive in. I know we've got some questions queued up. Let's just tackle them right out of the gates.
Alrighty, question number 1. Rob, what is your investment strategy for 2025? Single family, multifamily, commercial, land, something else? Do you recommend fix and flip, buy and hold, or wholesale? Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah, great. Hey, good question. Here's what I'll tell you. I tell people to invest in 5 things, okay? And we're going to get into the specifics of the question that was submitted, and I think it's a good question. And I think that every year, every 6 months, every quarter, every month, you need to ask and evaluate, how is my investment strategy going? So I have a very developed investment thesis from 25 years of doing this. But there are 5 things that I tell people to invest in. Number 1, I tell people to invest in yourself and your knowledge, because no matter what the economy does, no matter what the politicians do, no matter what happens in your life, to you, around you, because of you, when you have knowledge, you have the ability to think your way to the next step. And knowledge around specific things is one of the most important things you can gain in your life. Now, if you're talking about an investment strategy, that knowledge should lead to some money-making venture. Knowledge should allow you to make more money. Now, that could be as simple as the difference between being a generalist and a specialist. Specialists are always paid more money than a generalist. A generalist can do a lot of things, but they're always underpaid because they're not specifically doing that high value thing, producing the high value result and output that a specialist can produce. Now, the closer that specialist's output is connected to making money, revenue, the more that specialist can make. And so what I think is invest in yourself, number 1, invest in knowledge. No one can ever take it away. Number 2, I tell people to invest in real estate. That was the sub part of your question, and we're going to get to that in a minute. I'm a huge believer in real estate. You know, the best time to buy real estate is yesterday. The second best time to buy real estate is right now. And so, you know, when you think about it, there's no bad time to buy. Sometimes you want to sit on the cash, you want to sit on the opportunity, because sometimes the best deals that I've done are the deals I said no to. And so you always want to be investing. Now, I'm very specifically and intentionally a value investor. I'm always trying to buy the discount because that creates margin of safety, and it puts me in a great place to get out of a deal if the deal doesn't go exactly how I think it should. And so, yes, invest in real estate. Invest in real estate right now. Go back up to number 1, knowledge. Increase your knowledge about investing in real estate. Specifically, increase your knowledge about value investing as it relates to real estate. You can value invest in real estate for two outcomes, for cash generation or for cash flow. You can do both. One is very specific, and there are strategies that just allow you to buy discount, resell, and grab a big wad of cash. Other strategies allow you to buy at a discount and receive the income from the cash flow. Decide what you want. There's obviously hybrids where you can do both. You can get cash and cash flow at the same time. If you don't know how to do that, that's what you want to lean in on. That's the thing that you want to go figure out. How can I get the outcome that I want? How can I use real estate investing to produce what I need, whether that's cash, cash flow, or a hybrid of both on every single deal? What do you need to do that? You need to get good at finding deals. So first you need to determine, what does a deal look like to you? What is the buy box, right? And people throw around the term buy box like they sound really fancy and really smart. The term buy box is really you defining what makes a deal for you, right? If you buying at 90 cents on the dollar, taking over someone's debt and having $50 a month cash flow, knock on wood, if you're lucky, if that's a deal for you, no problem. Go do that deal. That's not a deal for me. So I've defined what my deal criteria is, and that allows me to build my marketing lists around certain geographies where that type of real estate exists. And then I get to go in and I get to filter in those geographies to find the distress signals that layer on top and determine, where's the discounted opportunity? Where's the deal going to come from? And, a lot of times investors can get a bad rap because we talk about the deal. We're always talking about our gain. The reality is, what makes a deal for us often solves a problem, and it should solve a problem for a seller. So when I say a deal, what I'm doing is I'm doing all of the work to identify who in a certain geography has a potential problem, is feeling a certain pain, and does my solution of buying their real estate solve their problem? They probably need cash. They probably need out from under the debt. They probably are sick of dealing with the tenants. They probably are frustrated being a distant landlord and having a vacant house, handling code violations. They probably fill in the blank of the problem, think about what their pain is, and then determine how you can have a conversation with them to bring your solution such that you buying the real estate actually solves that problem, takes away the pain, and moves them to the next phase of their life. It's win-win. So number one, invest in yourself. Number two, invest in real estate. Number three, invest in cash flowing businesses. I'm a huge believer in business investing in business. And a lot of people miss that opportunity. A lot of people miss that fact that buying real estate and buying a business are very similar things. And how you evaluate them is not significantly different, right? When you evaluate a real estate property, you say, what is it worth if it was fixed up? Or what income would it produce if it was producing at its peak? Is there any money I need to put into fixing up the property? Do I need to repair it? In business, you're asking the same kinds of questions. What's the upside? What is the business worth? How much income could this business produce? Are there things I need to do to fix the business and get it to that? Are there investments I need to make? Is there a rehab budget that I need to put into the business? And so I'm a huge believer in buying cash flow businesses. Now I'm going to tell you why and kind of where this came from. It was years ago, and my biggest private lenders, okay, I was the rich real estate guy, right? In my mind. And yet I was always raising private money to go do more and more and more deals because I was property opportunity rich and my cash was always invested. And I had a handful of guys that I would call and we would go do deals together, and they were my private lenders. And I would take them out for breakfast, lunch, dinner. We'd hang out and I would talk to them. And I found out that they were in a handful of businesses. They were in manufacturing. They were in media and publishing. They were in software and tech. And they were in like high sales. And here's what I figured out. Other than the sales guys that made a lot of money, the other three were extremely scalable businesses. You could create cash flow. You could create significant cash flow with very little operational increase and overhead. And so I started to say, well, if I'm supposed to be the rich real estate guy, but they have all the money that I'm going to, maybe I need to be thinking about what are they doing? How are they doing it? What does that mean to me? And so that was the catalyst for me starting a media company, an education company, a software business, and getting into the business side of supporting my real estate venture. And it was just, there's the saying, success leaves clues. And if you look at success and start asking questions, you can often find the clues, the breadcrumbs that take you to a path that say, oh, that's what that person is doing. And if you see success, start asking those questions and look for the breadcrumbs to follow the path. It's never too late to do that. Start right now. If you've never thought about that before, start surrounding yourself with people that are successful. Start paying attention, start asking questions, be a sponge, learn, and you don't have to recreate the wheel. That's the beautiful part. The path is there. Go follow it. That is number one, knowledge. Number two, real estate. Number three, cash flowing businesses. Number four, I'm a huge believer in investing in gold, silver, and lead. Now, gold, silver, and lead. What does it mean? Well, gold used to be the standard, right? We used to have a currency-backed system backed by gold. That went away. Thank you, Nixon, years ago. And even before that, the framing of that went away with Bretton Woods years prior. I'm not going to get into the economics, the political theft. Yeah, I said it, the political theft that occurred because of it. But the dollar was taken off the gold standard. But I'm still a big believer in the utility of gold because money has to be produced through effort or energy. And gold takes effort and energy to mine and pull out of the earth. So gold, silver, and lead. Now, silver is very similar to gold. There was, back in the 70s or 80s, I don't remember exactly when, they took the silver coins and they diluted them down and they took the silver out of our silver coins. They used to be actual silver that could be melted down and had utility. They took that out and replaced it with nickel and other alloys. And so, this idea of gold and silver is a hedge against inflation. Okay, it's a store of wealth. That's all it is. It's a store of wealth. And it's taking a dollar, and here's the most important component. It's taking a dollar and it's taking a devaluing dollar, a dollar that has less purchasing power right now than it had yesterday. A dollar that had less purchasing power right now than it had a year ago. So if you're holding dollars in pure cash, your purchasing power is going down and your dollar is worth less and less and less. If you take that dollar and you buy gold, you're taking the dollar and you're transferring it into a different form. You're transferring it into gold. And ideally, that gold or silver is holding value against the devaluing currency that's devaluing because of overprinting, because of inflation, and because of the money supply being just exploded. So gold and silver is a transfer of one form of money into another form of, we'll call it money, but it's a store of the value of that money. Now, lead is a different one. And if you want to get to know my lead investment, try breaking into my house. Oh, my producer over here shaking his head. He's telling me I shouldn't say that. I'm just saying you could probably take a really close look at my lead investment. That's all I'm saying. It's really a pretty nice one. I've got between 944 and 357 different types of lead. So
And 450.
yeah, that's true. Actually, that is true. Yeah, I left that one out. Yeah, I'm up to about 450 different types of lead. So we'll just leave that there. And let's go to the fifth thing that I think we should invest in. So right now, you either love me or you hate me, and that's okay. If you're still listening, that's awesome. If you've shut me off, you don't know, and you'll probably never listen to me again, so that's okay. Number 5, Bitcoin. So here's the thing about Bitcoin. And I'm not going to get into all in this conversation off the cuff. I'm not going to get into all of the pros of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is a better money system. Now, there has to be adoption over the years, but people that talk about Bitcoin as digital fool's gold, or that talk about Bitcoin as they downplay Bitcoin. There's two types of people that do this. Number one, it's the people that want you to be enslaved in their money system. And so you hear the talking heads, the people that, Business Insider or Forbes, or you pick any of the media companies. They always go to certain wealthy individuals to quote around investing, wealth, making money, what you should do. And these individuals tend to give quotes that suggest that Bitcoin is fool's gold. And the reason is they are so invested in the fiat dollar system, and they are so close to the money printer that they have first shot that you will never have. And so if they told you that Bitcoin was good, it would take away their edge. It would take away their leverage. It would take away their advantage. And why would they do that? That would be stupid to tell the masses, hey, there's a better way to do money. And oh yeah, by the way, that's going to hurt us. So think about it. Ask better questions. Think about it for just a minute. Be critical. Just because somebody is propped up as an expert doesn't mean that the expert advice they're giving you is in your benefit. Is it in your benefit, or is it in their benefit? Think about it. And sometimes it can be both. Sometimes it's truly egalitarian and it's perfectly good. Just ask the better question. Now, when I talk about Bitcoin, I'm not talking about cryptocurrency. There's a very big distinctive difference between cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is decentralized, and no other cryptocurrency is decentralized in the way that Bitcoin is decentralized. There's no CEO, there's no marketing team, there's no operations team behind Bitcoin. every single other cryptocurrency, there's a CEO, there's a team of people that control the code, control the currency, if you will, and they control what it does and what it doesn't do. Cryptocurrency is very different and distinctively different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin operates off of a trusted network of computers, nodes, that are not owned by anybody and that put in energy, i.e. work, to produce or mine itself into existence. And so, again, I'm not going to go deep into it. There's a rabbit hole that you should go down, and you should get orange pilled. I'm going to tell you, you should get orange pilled, because if you do, you will see a path to better money. And if you pay attention to what's happening in the world and in the world stage right now, with the way the politicians are taking a lot of heat, talking about tariffs, talking about taxes, doing all of this stuff, it doesn't, all of this plays into the big scheme of we have a global money problem. Debt is too high. There is a day of reckoning where the global money system is going to reset. And as Ray Dalio talks about in his various books, that reset happens either extremely painfully or less painfully, but still with some pain. And that depends on whether the reset occurs because of war or because politicians are willing to take the short-term heat to reset the debt load and reset the currency and reset the money system into something sustainable. Okay? I have no connection to the political arena at that level, but I have a lot of connection to studying history. I have a lot of connection to asking questions. I have a lot of connection to looking back at various empires that have gone through similar growth, introduction of debt, and a resetting of their currency. And there's a direct connection to war, and there's a direct connection to political choices. And if you think about it, where we're headed is there has to be a deleveraging. There has to be a resetting. And that's what's taking place in front of our eyes right now. How do you not get destroyed through that process? You look for better money. You look for something that produces wealth, money, sustenance in a different way outside of the manipulated, controlled, resetting, devaluing system. I'll just tell you, go get orange pilled, go down the rabbit hole, and I think you will enjoy it. The other side of the coin, I didn't tell you, the other person who says Bitcoin is a scam tends to be a high-driving entrepreneurial influencer who is investing in the stock market or real estate or something, and they're just heads down on their thing. And they haven't taken the time to stop, step back, and evaluate in a bigger way what this could mean. Now, is it possible that I'm wrong? No. But is it possible that I'm wrong? It could be. I could be wrong. But guess what? When I step back and I look and I evaluate, which is investing, I have to say to myself, if I'm wrong, what is the risk of me being wrong? If I ignore it, what is the risk of me not participating? Investing is always an evaluation of risk. So let's jump to the final piece of the question. Single family, multifamily, commercial, land. The answer is yes. I don't care what vehicle you choose in 2025. What I care is that you do something. and that you approach it as a value investor. So you buy it at a discount. You either buy the value, you buy the value at a discount and you buy the cash flow stream at a discount. Do those two things and you win, whether it's single family houses or multifamily or commercial or land investing. Do any one of those and you win. Do I recommend fix and flip, buy and hold, wholesale? Yes, I've fixed and flipped hundreds and hundreds of houses. I've bought and held 100 plus houses. I've wholesaled a lot of houses, hundreds and hundreds of houses I've wholesaled. And so pick your poison. My investment thesis when it comes to real estate is looking at the macroeconomics of the market and then playing the asset class through the buy and the sell. See, here's the thing. People will tell you that you should buy real estate and never sell it. I think that's wrong. There are times that you should sell your real estate. And because it allows you to reset into the downside of the curve and rebuild your portfolio and recapture that appreciation and equity growth. If you were to buy and hold and then everything and continue to hold, it crashes and then it comes back up, you haven't gotten the second gain. If you buy and it goes up, somewhere towards the top here is where you should sell, capture that gain, let the market go down, buy again, and let the market do its work again for you. If you buy and never sell, you miss some of that opportunity. Now, that assumes that what you've done is you've bought and you've held to create cash flow. You have your life number. You have the cash flow that is required for you to survive. Never sell that. But the rest of your portfolio, there's a time to buy and a time to sell to maximize your wealth. And that is a key component that many people miss. They either sell at the wrong time and they're always selling, or they buy, or they've done that and then they realize that that's a hamster wheel and then they buy and they say, I'm never going to sell. And so they hold forever and they go through the ups and the downs and they never really gain the true potential that real estate could have given them because they didn't make the buying and the selling decisions at the right time. So that was a really long answer to a really good question. And hopefully it gave you a lot of things to think about and things to dive in on. Let's jump to the next one.
I mean, we're at time with that already.
I love it.
So
I love it.
That's kind of a perfect, I think we can put a bow on this.
Well, let's do it. That is the end of this particular episode then. What we're going to do is we're going to keep this running. What I would like you to do is send me an email. Send me an email to robswanson@freedomsoft.com. My team will see your questions. They'll queue it up for me here, and we'll dive in and we'll answer them. And this was a great question. I think it was Tyler. Tyler, thank you for that. Fantastic question. It gave me enough content to talk for 30 minutes just about how I think about investing. And, you know, I've got some other really good questions here that we have not even dived in on yet today that we're going to get to in the future episodes. But get your questions coming in. Let's have a dialogue and let's get you what you need. So we'll see you in the next one.